What's up, everybody? I got a brand new hour of material. Raleigh, North Carolina. I am there right now at Good Nights Comedy Club. I'm there tonight through Saturday. Then November 2nd in Pittsburgh, November 3rd, Detroit, November 4th, Columbus, Ohio, November 10th and 11th, Dania Beach, Florida. Then we got New Haven, Connecticut, Providence, and Medford, followed by Phoenix, Arizona, Salt Lake City, and Denver. And then we've added San Diego, LA, and Reno, Nevada, Washington, D.C., and Nashville for the new year. ChrisDComedy.com for Tiki Wikis. Let me tell you something. Come see this material, because after I'm done with this tour, I will not be on the road for probably close to a year. So if you want to see me, now's the time to do it. ChrisDComedy.com. Get your tickets as a gift. Get them for you. We have a good time. This is the material I'm the most proud of. So come out, see you. I'll kiss you on the lips.
Real quick, tour dates are on sale right now at Sal Vulcano, comedy.com. There's a big Illinois run in November leading up to my comedy special at the Vic in Chicago on December 1st and 2nd. The second sold out, as you guys I hopefully know, and so we added 2 shows on the first. All will be taped, and if you have a ticket to any of those shows, you'll be eligible to win a flight, hotel, and trip to the set of Impractical Jokers. I'm choosing 1 ticket out of those 4 shows. December 1st is still on sale right now, but it's going fast. SalVulcanoComedy.com.
Don't be a fake, don't be a flake, don't run away from your feelings, babe. Don't be afraid, don't be ashamed, don't hesitate to say, hey babe, hey babe, hey babe, hey babe, hey babe, hey babe.
Hey, what's up, babes? We got Chrissy's moving today, and we got 2 of our great past guests. We got, well, you haven't been on Hey Babe yet.
No.
We got the 2 mics. We got Mike Cannon here and Mike Finoia sitting in today. Mike Cannon had a wild Vegas weekend, so we were just chatting about that.
My brain is recalibrating, coming back to form.
Oh man, I when was the last time you had one of those nights where the next day you couldn't get out of bed? Like, it's been
from partying like that.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, a while. I mean, like a New Year's Eve a couple of years ago, probably, where go to Madison Square Garden and take a ton of acid and see Phish, and then.
Do you do Phish?
I've gone once, and I went on January 1st one year. I took Molly and mushrooms, and I turned into a tree with my wife.
Whoa.
It was unbelievable.
Did she also feel like she turned into a tree?
So the crazy thing is we're watching Phish from behind them,
which I love doing.
It was so cool because it made me leave being like, whoever does their lights deserves a Nobel Peace Prize.
Okay,
he's unbelievable.
Chris Kuroda, yep.
Unreal.
See, this is how funny is that he knows who does the lights.
Well, you want to know what? Guess what? He now does all the lights for everything at the Garden. Because Phish does the Garden, and so often, and they're like, whatever you're doing, please do it for us. And he just does the Rangers games, Knicks games.
So let me ask you a question: Are you a Phish guy, or with like it fell in your lap?
No, I went with never hear. I actually went out of my way not to listen to them.
Understood. Yeah. Okay, so how many times have you seen them?
I mean, 230, 40. Something
I thought you were about to tell me 30 times, and I was going to go 30 times.
No, it's
200.
Over 200 times.
But,
yeah.
Wait, but.
I don't know if I've had sex that many times.
Yeah.
I definitely haven't.
I don't know if I've done anything 200 times except wake up.
I have 10,000 hours. I'm the Malcolm Gladwell of. No.
All right, you're 200 and what?
Like 30, 40.
And who's your
like
Jedi?
That.
How many do they?
Oh, there's people that have been like 500, 600 that have done. Yeah, no, totally.
How do you do that in your life?
Well, so.
Do you not have a family? Do you have. Are you.
Yeah.
Are you.
Well,
do you have a trust fund? Like, how do you do that?
Well, I don't. So you mean the 500-600 people, or even the 200?
I mean, like, and also,
I think it was just a timing.
235
thing.
is
it wasn't bad, but also there's like in high school and in college, like they would play like 3 or 4 nights in an hour drive of where I was going to school. So it was like literally I could see them like 40 times a year, and it was like not a big deal. Tickets were like $20. They do 3 nights in Worcester, 3 nights in Providence, 3 nights in Albany, like.
And you go into them all?
Yeah.
Now, let me
Every
ask you
single
this.
show is different. So
how?
Literally, they never played the same set list twice in their entire whole career.
But they play the same song.
No, yes, but they don't play the same song.
But they
don't
have
play the song the same.
How many
way.
albums do they have?
A lot, and for however 13, 14 albums, and then for the amount of albums they have, they also have songs that they only play live. This is a whole thing, dude.
I understand. I know that I know it's like a cult,
but it's like
an ecosystem.
Yeah,
and you going, and this is why I love not going with people who haven't gone before, because it's like you watching episode 8 of season 9 of my favorite show, and I got to pause it and go, so this guy is this. You know what I mean? And I'm like, they didn't used to play it like this, and it's like, this is my Dungeons
That's going on all over the arena.
all over.
Every Phish person's like, let me explain
And
something.
every other person is like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So there's like people that are loving it, and there's people that are like, I don't want it. It's still
But
going.
what? Okay. How many? Okay. What artist have you seen the most, and how many times was it? Just ballpark, because I had to think about that too.
In Sync twice.
I wasn't expecting either of those answers. I wasn't expecting NSYNC, and twice isn't that much. If I'm being honest, I've seen Harry Connick 10 times. I've seen The Tribe Called Quest. I've seen Beastie Boys. I've seen a lot of people like 5-10 times.
Yeah.
But Wu-Tang I've probably seen about 10 times.
Yeah.
I may have seen them 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's 1993. It's 30 years.
I know.
So I see them 10 times. I see them every 3 years. Right. What happened? How do you enjoy seeing the same people 300 times?
So they've mastered the fear of missing out because they don't play the same. So they played 13 shows at the Garden.
Yeah.
In 2017, they called it the Baker's Dozen. They didn't repeat one song.
And they sold all 13 shows.
I think that's the one I went to.
Oh, it's like that.
actually.
Yeah. So it's like, did they sell? And like they will play their, like, it's almost kind of like collecting cards each season where it's like you get all of them and then you're missing that one and you can't miss that show because they play that one song and it's like, fuck, if I didn't go, I would have missed it. That's what it
And there's
has,
no album that possibly has it on it.
Of course not, Mike. Of course, I don't have 100 tapes of that song in my
How
car.
much of what percentage of it is? Do you still do hallucinogens at the shows?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what percentage of the
everyone?
enjoyment is that?
Everyone.
Not everyone.
Okay, great question.
No, what percentage of shows am I doing?
Like of
psychedelics?
no. What percentage of the enjoyment is tripping? Because I love tripping, but I saw Dead & Co. this year, and it's my second year in a row. Oh, saw them twice, and then I had a great.
NSYNC and Dead & Co.
Honestly, that speaks a lot to you. You're my guy.
But I had a great time. But I also was laughing because I'm not like a huge fan. I just have gone twice,
right?
And I was laughing that mostly I'm just doing drugs in public,
right? So
Like,
right.
that's
So
the
what
point.
percentage is it of that?
A good percentage I was not doing.
Give me the percentage of your 300 shows high to not high.
70-30.
Of what?
High, not high.
Wow. And what?
And a lot of times it was because I'm doing like 4 nights in a row, and I go way too hard the first night, and I'm like, I'm gonna die if I do.
Yeah.
But what I would say is sober at a show.
Yeah.
It's like 3 beers and a couple joints, maybe. You know what I mean? Like,
all right,
not Molly, not
So
ecstasy.
100% high then. is the answer.
Yeah.
You're not even one
Maybe
joint, 2
like
drinks.
3 or 4 I've done with nothing.
So what percentage of the crowd there do you think is high? It's got to be like
130%
Yeah,
because the
yeah.
staff now is high.
why? Because contact high.
Of course.
They don't come and police the. So you're okay. So you're saying that the Garden makes a concession.
Yes.
That 15,000 joints are going to be lit and there's nothing they could do about it, and they'll still have their 13 days, even though it's breaking all their rules.
Yeah. Sal, ask the people at the Garden who their favorite shows are. They're gonna say Phish
because nobody's fighting.
no one's fighting.
They're all hugging.
We're buying people shit. Like I'm on fucking
one's
a pound
giving
of
anyone-
mushrooms, and I'm like, you want pretzels or anything?
Yeah,
like,
no one's
thank you
giving
for
anyone
keeping
shit.
us safe.
You all have the same exact goal. You all are there loving the shared experience is like probably no other concert, if I'm being honest, right?
Right,
You
yeah.
can't name another person that. I mean, maybe now Taylor Swift is coming in second somewhere. Like
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, and as an outsider, it feels like a meetup group. Because
Right.
everybody's saying hello to everybody, even if they know or don't know. But people are like, "Hey, I saw you last
and then
year."
they're like, "Oh, I saw them play, fucking, Rose Garden."
Why do they sound like that, Sal? What is that? Is that your drug boy?
What's the male to female ratio?
Oh God! Well, it's gotten better. It used to be all dudes. It was
All
just
right.
all geeks.
Yeah.
It was all like your first IT
Yeah,
dudes.
it's the
were like-
skank fest of jam bands.
Oh God! Phish has put on so many festivals. We went down to the Everglades for the Millennium New Year's Eve
Yeah.
to a Seminole Indian reservation.
It literally sounds like you're going to the goddamn. Where's the Pope live?
The Vatican?
Like you're going to a Vatican.
Well, they played from when the ball dropped until when the sun came up the next morning. Played completely through the night.
No shit.
And we just were out there like.
Are they high?
I mean, maybe then, yeah, sure, for sure.
Because that seems like a lot of work. To do high.
When
like
each
your
song's a
fingers would
half
get
hour,
sore.
it's not a lot of songs.
Yeah. Well, they play 4 songs.
But we would go. I mean, literally, there were years when it was like, I mean, I remember doing like 30 or 40 shows a year, and it adds up quick.
Who likes
wild.
music that much? I mean, never mind 30 to 40 the same show, but then going to a show where they play for 8 hours. At a certain point, if I've seen them 270 times and then I'm at an 8-hour show, at a certain point you don't go,
Time to go.
I'm good.
I've had it. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Have you
a
ever had
badge
to
of
take an
honor.
extended break?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's funny. They
You
went
took
on.
a tolerance.
They took.
You took a tolerance break.
I'm too much up there. I don't even feel
I'm
this
like, dude,
anymore.
Are
somebody
you
make
like,
me.
yes, I've only heard this song 300 times.
I'm like, somebody make me an NSYNC mix because I gotta cleanse the palate.
I'll
I gotta
make you a
smell
good
some
one.
Is
coffee
it the
beans.
same people the whole time? I mean, is it the same band that they started with?
Yes, yeah, 4 guys,
band.
and that's the type of band where like if one of them dies or something, they're not gonna.
I think I know one song. The bouncing around the room.
Yeah, and it's like that's a
You hate that.
yeah.
That's like exactly why.
Yeah.
Because that's the
'Cause
only
you
one
know.
I know.
Is
that their radio
And everyone's
song?
like, get out of it. They don't even play it, I bet.
If they do, you hear a couple
Don't they
And
jump
that's it.
around on the trampolines, like Gallagher?
That's during another song.
Yeah, right?
Gallagher.
Yeah.
No. Then they smash watermelons with their guitars. I love it because it's kept me friends with friends that I would not have stayed friends with. So like my buddies from high school that I went to shows with, now we're in our 40s and I still
Well-
Phish announces a tour and then that text someone blows the dust off that group text.
Yeah, I
It's
got
like
you.
what shows
It
you wanna
feels
go
like
to.
they're your Yankees or Knicks, and that's where you go and you watch games and you catch up with your buddies, and
and
it's
then
a
you don't
common.
talk to them again
It's
until
a
next
thing.
season.
It's
Yeah.
a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So my next question is, my ADHD is kicking in, but
I don't like sitting. I used to have to be front row.
oh, I got it.
I used to have to be front row. Now I want to be behind the stage. I love watching
It's
everybody
awesome,
watch
man.
them.
It's so cool. I also like I don't need explanations. I like going into things completely unknowledgeable.
How did you find yourself there? Thought
my
it was
wife,
interesting.
My wife's friends were going.
She's
They're
a-
huge Phish heads, and
Okay.
she was like, "Hey, they're going. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "I jump at the chance to
and
do
you enjoyed it
hallucinogens."
because you were
Because I
high.
like
We've
drugs.
talked about
Yeah,
it before.
yeah.
Like,
What
you've
about the
talked
music,
maybe
Mike?
going and
The
stuff.
music was great. I mean, I personally for me, Dead & Co. with John Mayer and him and Bob Weir and the way they played guitar together, they mix with my musical sensibility a little bit more. But Phish, I mean, truly, dude, they play the trip like it's an instrument. They know people are hallucinating. So they jam, they slow it down and meander, they guide you through a thing, and you get lost in it. That's why, like, when I was standing with my wife and I became a tree, we became a tree.
Talk us through that.
So, and in terms of, so my feet
Deciduous?
rooted into the ground.
Because I've taken mushrooms 3 times.
Yeah.
2, I had slightly like, oh, I see it. Everything.
Yeah.
But you took enough that
I
you
took 4
turned
grams
into a
in a
tree.
public place, which is a lot.
Is that like 4 chocolate bars full?
No,
No,
it's
that's
like,
one.
It's like 1 chocolate bar, but full chocolate bar, entire every square.
And so
But I ate regular because chocolate doesn't make me break through anymore.
Got you.
So I have to eat the raw.
So I don't like hallucinogenics. The furthest I'll ever go is mushrooms. I've only done it a few times. I felt in control. I didn't do too much. I enjoyed looking around because I was always like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I understand I'm just getting this cool little extra thing.
Yes.
But if I were to turn into a tree, I wouldn't like that. So what happens? So how do you turn into a tree? And then when you're a tree,
Yeah.
are you like, oh, I know it's me.
Yes.
I have tree hands.
Yeah, I'm not. So it wasn't a disassociative at all.
Okay.
And it was more like I didn't look at myself and see bark. I just truly felt like my body had
You were a tree up
extended
here.
into roots. I became a trunk with my wife because we were holding on to each other, and our arms extended into branches and all that stuff. And it felt.
I'm gonna have a panic attack.
Yeah.
Just listening to that, I'm just gonna have a panic attack because once you're there, you can't control it anymore, right?
I mean, I'm
you don't
good
know
at
what you're
drugs.
gonna turn
I'm
into after
good
that.
at hallucinogens. I can
Yeah,
bring myself
right.
back.
You are like a black belt.
Yeah, I can do okay. But like, I thought it was Sappos pissing, but But like later on, after the show, my wife and I were at a bar, just sitting down, getting a drink to kind of decompress. And she said, she was like, man, I had this whole visual thing of becoming a tree. And I was like, what the fuck?
No
and
way,
we
dude.
found out later that the two of us at the same time had the exact same visual and were that Bluetoothed together.
Wow, soulmates.
Yeah.
Try having that at a Taylor Swift concert.
I'm afraid that you get a migraine headache at that thing.
What
They're
are you
just
talking
screaming
about?
kids, right? Screaming girls?
Oh, at Taylor Swift?
Screaming fans,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I was a tree at a Taylor Swift concert, I'd fall on some people.
I would love to do mushrooms and just be a problem at a Taylor Swift show.
With a Taylor Who shirt on?
Oh my god, dude, that's tough. That would give you a good punishment for my show.
It would be. Oh, my
that
God.
is good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Do you know what type of tree you were, or
I don't actually, but it was oak, I assume, because it was large and
you felt inside that you were a tree and your feet were so you weren't scared. It was welcoming and
was,
interesting.
Yes, really welcoming.
And it was never like, I don't want to be a tree anymore. Were you a tree until it wanted to be a tree, or did you stop being a tree when you wanted to stop being a tree?
I stopped being a tree when I stopped thinking about being a tree.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
So you have the power.
I became a tree. What it really felt was it more was metaphorical than than like truly looking down. But like I felt completely rooted and cemented into the earth. I felt large. I felt alive, and I felt one with my wife.
Oh, so those are all amazing feelings.
Yes.
So nothing about that was negative.
None.
Or a tinge of like
not even no
So
fear.
Where Mikey was a tree, if you had that experience, you may have become a skyscraper or like some big giant Hulk thing where it's like whatever your like powerful strength thing is. Because I've had that like kind of rooting into the earth thing before, where I just thought like I had like iron rods coming out of my heels that were going like right to the core of and I'm like, nothing can knock me down. I feel so strong.
Wow. Yeah.
And so powerful.
Okay, what about guys? Thank you for joining us. What about the other way? Guys, let's talk about Viator, both a website and an app that you can use when you are traveling and you are someplace and you want a really cool experience, something from something, that is very common to something that's very niche. They have 300,000 experiences spanning 190 countries. And they offer things from like simple tours to extreme adventures. It takes the guesswork out of wondering what you should do when you land in a new city. It's particularly good for me because I'm on the road all the time. And when I have downtime, I have to go seek out and make sure I'm choosing. Like, you never want to squander the few hours you have that day. And it's been the case where I've booked something or I've done something that wasn't worth it. So with Viator, you can go online. You can look at all the experiences. They describe them to a T. And then you could look at the reviews of people who took them. So you could like book these things with confidence. Prior to this, I had to go downstairs and sit with the concierge to do it. I love it. In Dublin, I used it to take a tour of the cliffs, which I really like. You'd have to go get a magazine and flip through it. This thing, I'm literally coming from the airport on my app, already booking what I'm going to do on the trip. So it's really cool. There's always flexibility and support. There's free cancellation. There's payment options and 24/7 service. So download the Viator app now and use code Viator10 for 10% off of your first booking in the app. One app, over 300,000 travel experiences you'll remember. Do more with Viator. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. No surprise there, guys. Okay. Listen, if you are a therapy veteran, if you've never tried it, I think a good way to start or a good way to continue is with BetterHelp. It's online therapy, completely online. Okay. It's designed to be convenient and flexible for your schedule. It's super, super simple. You log on, you fill out a questionnaire quickly, and they match you with a licensed therapist. And that's it. You could switch therapists at any time, no additional charge. I use therapy all the time because I think it's really important to flush out what I'm thinking. A lot of times I'm so busy that I hold these thoughts in my head and I don't process them and I don't get them out. And you would be surprised how much just speaking for an hour about what's on your mind on a regular basis, how far that goes. So if you're someone who, is just an overthinker or has a lot on your plate or just wants to feel maybe like get in touch with yourself a little bit more, I've done it. It's worked for me. Try it out. Let's see here. Get a break from your thoughts, with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/heybabe today to get 10% off your first month. So that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/heybabe. Okay? Thank you for sponsoring the show, BetterHelp. Talk me through something that you didn't want to be.
A bad trip.
Yeah.
So any bad trip that I've ever had has actually been a positive experience because it's forced me to confront feelings that I've suppressed. So it's hard in the moment, and I've white-knuckled my way through it, but I've also faced some of my greatest life trauma and greatest fear and stuff head on, and I think it's made me a better person.
You have to.
Wow, that's heavy. So
That's what you're taught when you do it a lot. It's like, don't run from things, run towards them.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
if you're having a bad trip, you got to go head on to the thing and go like, I'm not afraid of you anymore. And
all right. You hear me? I'm not afraid of you anymore.
And then the South Bend Shovel
you gotta
Slayer
Kevin
shows
McAllister
up.
that shit. So when you're hitting it head on, if you're not like alone or at like a relaxed thing, if you're at a concert or a party and then it comes at that, do you have to go find a place to be alone, or is someone just jumping around you like, dancing, and you're dancing, but you're like, oh my God, I'm thinking of this.
So I like sitting. I literally wrote in my phone during a mushroom trip, there is nothing on earth I like more than sitting. And it was just a realization I had about myself. So I sit at the concert. I was having a tough time through the Dead & Co. concert, the first hour, and I was like facing some shitty thoughts about myself.
How do you go head on with that though?
Because
I'm working about this in therapy in my regular life.
I know.
Because I want to confront them because I don't want, because they deserve it.
Yes.
They deserve it for many reasons. One, because if you just keep pushing something away, it's you're not going to process it. It's not going to, it's going to manifest itself in negative ways.
Yeah.
And you have to have closure, right? So, but sometimes it's so traumatic or so bad that you also, there's never a good time for that.
Well,
right?
yes.
And you don't want to think about it sometimes. You don't want to let it creep in. But then sometimes I feel guilty that I don't give it its due if I push it away too much. Now, this is something I'm talking about in regular life. Now, if I'm at a party and the thing that I don't want to confront in my regular life that I push away because it's just too heavy.
Yeah.
How are you processing that while people are like literally playing like, you know what I mean? Like I just don't understand that. And so you're sitting in this chair and everyone around you is doing whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like thinking of like almost like the rock bottom moments. Of
For sure. Yeah. And just, I have a lot of real self-talk problems and I'm really mean to myself. And that was what I was doing the entire first hour of the show.
Like Larry David in an episode of Curb when he's screaming in the mirror at himself.
Exactly. That
You piece of
exact,
shit. That
exact thing.
Yeah.
And then, so this was incredible, right? It's their first show after the pandemic. It was the first show that I had been to. And my son was born to Hey Jude, which was like a really beautiful moment. We played, both my wife and I were listening to it during the C-section. So it was like intense thing. They never really play covers all that often. I'm white knuckling, trying to make it through it. Out of nowhere, they start playing Hey Jude.
No way.
And I just...
Dead & Co.?
Dead & Co.
Wow.
And I just shoot rainbows out of my fingertips, eyeballs, dick hole, chest, everything, and start immediately hysterical
Asshole
crying.
earholes.
Asshole earholes. Yeah. Give my wife a huge hug. We're singing along to it. And from that moment on, it was the most euphoric, beautiful concert I've ever been to.
Yeah.
You face your stuff head on like that too?
Well, yeah, I've been doing yes, I've done a bunch of large doses of mushrooms, just me and a guide, like me and a person that sits there with me to make sure that like I don't like go jump in a river or some shit.
Like
But
the
it's like
ayahuasca
I
stuff?
sit,
Yeah.
and I just sit and do like a large doses of mushrooms and do that, and that's been
What is the
I
dose
just
for
remembered. You have to give me that. We talked about it in the car ride on the road.
ketamine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Did you hear about this?
I've been doing.
Yes,
I
yeah,
forgot. I thought it was mushrooms, but
Yeah,
Well, no, I've done now.
that? I watched somebody do a set on ketamine
Well,
at
I'm-
Skankfest.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Was it advertised as such?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
We'll get back to that.
Yeah, surprise appearance by ketamine.
Wow. Yeah. I couldn't imagine.
So wait. So let me.
No, but yeah, so
Let's
we'll
not
start-
jump to
we'll start
ketamine
back.
just
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
We'll get
yeah.
there. So how do you face head on these things?
I had.
Are you, you go there? Do you ever start wailing
Yeah.
and crying at a party?
No, nothing like that. I'm if I need a break, I'll step outside. But for the most part, I'm Irish. I can really weather a bad
And this
storm
is
and
where-
keep a straight face.
This is where
Understood.
I'd feel incredible doing it with Mike because I'm Italian and I get emotional at anything. So when I'm doing it alone, I did it to do the work. Like I decided I'm awful to myself. I had a horrible year of depression and whatever. And I'm like, I got to dive in and stay down there until I fucking figure it out. So I went in and did like a couple of large
So
doses,
scared.
like
I'd be
3.5 to 4 grams
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
Golden Teacher. And I sat in this room.
Who names this?
The shamans.
Yeah, because
So
someone
here's what
names
it is.
them.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
that's what that
totally.
is. And
Golden
then
Teacher
going
was the
forward,
best.
that's what that is.
Yes, 100%.
I
So
want to be the guy who names that
Golden
shit.
teacher.
I sat with this woman, and I'm like, I lay down in this bed that she made, like this big like beanbag bed, and I go, I feel so comfortable because normally my wife and my dog are always laying on me, and she goes, that's because you make them feel safe. And just that one notion, I felt like Sloth and Goonies when Chunk's like, you're gonna live with me now. I was like, oh, like my ears started, and I just.
But this
start
is ketamine or mushrooms?
Mushrooms.
Okay.
And I just start sobbing uncontrollably, and I feel like I cried years and years and years of like self-hatred all out at once, and I just came out of it like, I mean, dude, I had a headache from crying, but it's like the front of your head is open for like the next like 3 weeks or so.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have that expansion of just like things.
It's
I
a
had
residual.
I had
thing?
a notion.
Oh yeah,
I had
it
a
stays
notion.
with you for a bit.
Really?
I had a notion that, and everyone's gonna think I'm nuts, but whatever. I have a feeling that the only two things in life that are real are love and fear. And if you operate from fear, you're not open to the love that's around you. But if you operate from love, fear doesn't stand a chance. This was a thing that I realized on mushrooms, and it like, oh, I get it now. Like, I'm either looking at things from love or fear.
But
you
then,
know?
but then that is realized, and then when you're not high anymore, you hold that.
It's been years and I still think about it almost every day. And to
It's-
me, that
it's that
imprinted
deep.
on my head where I'm like, I either look at things, me personally, I'm either afraid or I'm comfortable.
But
And-
does
and-
this not mean that something chemically is happening that's altering you permanently?
Yeah, that's the point.
But
Right, but
personally.
then that's also. But then why doesn't it happen in reverse, or does it?
It does.
could.
I've
you
had
could take
I've
that
known,
with you. Like
I know people unfortunate. See, I'm a huge advocate of mushrooms, but
Yeah.
I've also seen it work in the opposite way, where it's triggered somebody's suppressed mental illness,
Yeah.
and it made them bipolar, or not made them, but it certainly, kind of reinvigorated some dormant
You
trait.
don't
that they had.
necessarily get
Wild.
what
Yeah.
you want.
because
out
you're
of
really
these.
rolling the dice then.
Yeah,
The
for
second
sure.
time I went and did a large one, I had a really bad time. And it was like I never achieved liftoff. Like I was kind of like stuck in limbo. And every
Been
time
there.
I closed my eyes, I felt like I saw like, those like parade dragons, like those kind of
course.
like the ones that look almost like Brick Breaker, it was
Yeah.
like coming at me. And every time I closed my eyes, I saw them. So I'd open my eyes, but my eyes wouldn't stay open. I was just having this like, and I turned to her and I'm like, I'm having a really bad time right now. And she's like, we'll get through it together. You're fine. I'm looking at you and you're fine. You ate mushrooms. They're going to wear off. And they did. And I confronted these things. And once I realized I was coming at it from fear, I was like, just
So
let
prior
it
to
go.
that,
And
you-
they just dissolved. They literally just disintegrated and I didn't have them anymore.
So prior to that, you were definitely afraid of parade dragons. Or?
I watched.
I think just Chinese people.
I did watch
What
Big
do the parade dragons represent?
Kurt Russell showed up. I was like, what the hell? Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah, I don't know. And then but I never thought about those in my entire life. You know what I mean? But it's like you confront these things that that were 1,000-pound weights around your neck your
Yeah.
whole life. And you go, oh, I'm not afraid of you anymore. And you just move on. And that thing that's been fucking with you forever doesn't matter anymore. And it's literally like, they call it like your default mode network. Like you have a record that plays in your head, right? And it's the same story over and over that we tell
Tell me
ourselves.
about it.
And then when you do these things, you flip the record and you hear a whole different track. And it's not,
That's
you're
such
not
an interesting
playing
way to
on that
put it.
same. Yeah. I mean, that's with the ketamine. I'm on like 35 or 40 now ketamine sessions with my doctor. And it's like, I sit in a leather recliner and they
In
put
a
an
row?
IV. Huh?
In a row, 35 in a row.
35 sessions. Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
like the first 4 weeks you go twice a week.
Okay, yeah,
And
yeah.
then you go like once every couple weeks. And then you go, remember I got in touch with you I wanted you to come film me doing it once.
Which is so weird because I started filming ads for ketamine therapy.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
My doctor's like, I don't think I want cameras in here. But anyway, yeah, so that's a thing where it's like,
That's how you find out you're being molested.
like, how come my wallet's lighter every time I leave here? But that one's totally different. That's like, you're literally sitting in a recliner with like the glasses and the headphones, and it's like,
What do you mean the glasses?
like, well, the eye shade things. Like, you wear like the sleep mask that you would wear. Like,
Oh.
you don't have to, but you can, and it helps you just kind of like
Zone out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking into the iced tea. That's another side effect of
What do you want now?
a little bit of both.
Why does it say you can't eat or drink 8 hours before ketamine
Because it
therapy?
causes nausea if you're prone to it. So, but it's not a big deal. It's the best thing in the world. I swear to God. It's like literally like I don't have the anxiety.
Ooh, that's
and
interesting. Create
That
a
is cool.
playlist. So you're listening to music?
There have been times where I've listened to music. Sometimes I just listen to like sounds like a, like deep in the woods kind of whatever, like
Oh, you
flute
mean like
type stuff. I don't listen to words,
Flute.
like stuff with like Native
Those
American
flutes,
flute.
Stephen. Okay, I thought you meant like you just listen hard for stuff in the woods outside.
I'm picturing Finoia with the Avatar people. In full blue face.
You guys, you went full blue. You guys have a positive, negative mushroom experience?
Well, I just did a bunch of mushrooms in Amsterdam. I love it.
Yeah,
those
that's cool.
must have been fantastic.
What's your craziest like your craziest moment, that or funnest or best, most interesting?
I don't know. It doesn't impact me like hallucinating.
Okay.
No, I just enjoy it.
You don't get visuals?
A little bit.
Do you smoke weed with it?
Yeah.
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 Does that enhance it or detract?
For me personally, like when I smoke, I mean, weed and mushrooms go together like chocolate and peanut butter. It is like a
But in
perfect
Amsterdam,
pair.
they
Like
say
the
only
best
tuna
combination
fish.
ever?
It said only
You
sativa.
mean like peanut? You mean like chocolate and caramel? No, you said peanut butter, right?
Is this that show?
It's a nougat
You
experience.
just said chocolate and caramel is a better combination than chocolate and peanut butter, and I had to.
Oh yeah,
we
no
went-
way.
But please continue. I didn't mean
But
to.
so for me, like I'll roll a
this
couple
is my taste
blunts.
buds.
I'll roll a couple blunts before because I've tried to do it while on, and it is impossible.
Blunts,
Blunt.
Yeah.
as opposed to joints.
Yeah,
Tell
because
tell
for
the
me,
audience what a blunt is, as opposed to a joint.
I'm from the suburbs of New York, so we smoked blunts. We would put 5 on a blunt.
White
Each
Owl,
of us
Philly?
would, Dutch.
Dutch.
I'm a Dutch master guy. Have been for revs. And
so what happens? Then you buy a Dutch Master cigar,
Yeah.
which is a cheap cigar.
Yeah,
You
several
slice
of
that
them.
open,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, or unwrap it. You can do
Unwrap-
it either
unwrap
way.
it, and
I
then
follow the Tupac method. I crack it down the middle.
God bless. They just found his killer. My mom texted me about
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
I got a text from my mom at 1 a.m. the other day that just said they found Tupac's killer.
Did she spell it right?
Let me look.
What did she do? Did she?
It's also hilarious. It's like, yeah, I found him too. He was talking about it on the internet.
I honestly wasn't keyed in there.
amazing
So
your
I was
mom
like,
did that.
but I had already read it before she sent it. It was so funny. I've never spoken to my mom about Tupac in my life.
No kidding.
And I've never heard her. I didn't know she knew who Tupac was. And let's see. Okay, this is what she said. This is a series of texts I got after midnight. Okay, I came off the stage. She said, "I'm glad that you had a good show." No, skip that. Okay, then she writes, on TV now, NSYNC released new music. First time in 23 years. You heard?
Damn
You
right.
heard?
Damn
That was at
right.
11:55. Followed up by a 12:13 text. Also, Tupac's killer was found.
Wow.
What would I be your best friends with your mom?
Yeah.
We have the same music taste.
I'm asleep. She's up. At 1:52, I wake up and I see my mom texting me, and I'm laughing, and I just say, I never talked to her about it, and I only write her back, "Who was it?" Because I want to see what she says. You know what I mean? And then she responds at 5:09 a.m.
Oh, Jesus. That's the best.
I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing, which means that she was. It was interesting enough for her to text me about it. She was like, "And we found Tupac's killer." And she was like, You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then she texted me.
So excited to text you, she doesn't even pay attention to the end.
I
What
was
a
so
mom move.
excited to see what she was going to say
That's
because I
amazing.
read it and it was like this guy that was in this gang and he jumped his nephew and,
Yes.
blah, blah, and I thought she was going to write that whole thing and she was like, I don't know.
I also love that your mom sleeps like 2.5 hours a night.
Yeah, she sleeps like a goddamn Navy SEAL, like on a mission. You know, it's like just 2-hour increments.
That's amazing. She just takes
She's just
power
gathering
naps.
information and sleeping.
She plugs
gathering
herself in.
information and sleeping.
Gather, text, nap. Gather, text, nap. That's it.
But I interrupted you. You were saying,
HelloFresh, baby. You get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. You guys know how much I love this product. I use it. Jazz uses it. We cook it. Sal uses it. It's really all we do. We get because the pre-portioned ingredients, that's what is the best part about this, is all the guesswork that goes into cooking eliminated. It's just healthy meals right to your door. You cook them, you get the family involved. I love it. This is how my family bonds. The most wonderful time of year is also the most delicious. Every single bite of the holiday season with HelloFresh, you can choose from over 45 weekly recipes and over 100 curated picks from the HelloFresh market. Right now, go to HelloFresh.com/heybabefree and use the code heybabefree for free breakfast for life. What? Come on. HelloFresh.com/heybabefree and use the code heybabefree for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/heybabefree with code heybabefree. I literally don't know why you wouldn't sign up immediately. You're getting free breakfast for life. Go get that bacon in your mouth. Game time. Game time.
we love the Game Time app. We use the Game Time app. You got to go to gametime.co, not com, gametime.co. It's last minute tickets at the best prices, guaranteed. A lot of good features.
Views from your seats. Best price guarantee. You get easy to find tickets for every kind of event in your area. They literally do the lowest price guarantee, and they prove it with that because with the Game Time guarantee, it means you will always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference.
That's absolutely right.
It is.
And this flash deals is like last minute deals. And this is something I didn't see, but the zone deals is where you pick the section, Game Time picks the seats, and that's going to be an average of 20% savings every time.
I love it.
Take the guesswork
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets, man. And they got every sport: football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more.
Yes.
Right. Find tickets for us. Use the Game Time app. If you can't, if we're sold out, find the tickets for us. Right now, all you have to do is download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code HeyBabe for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code HeyBabe for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Blunts.
Oh, blunts, yeah. So
what is
for me, I think it's like a little bit of the tobacco and weed that helps bring out the visuals.
So there's tobacco in a blunt.
Well, it's the rat, yeah. So in the leaf is
there is.
tobacco,
yeah,
for
understood.
sure. So I'm not. I can't do spliffs.
Traditionally, I don't love them.
No,
Because
me neither.
I feel
Harsh.
like the blunts could get me a little nauseous. Maybe it's just something I need to get over.
I'm like that with backwoods, but I used to smoke cigarettes. I quit like 10 years ago.
Okay.
And because I think this is probably my way of cheating a little bit and
Right.
getting a little bit of tobacco and
Okay.
nicotine or whatever into my system. I feel that way though with like backwoods, which is like the real hood blunt. That's what
Yeah.
And every time I smoke that, my head fucking swims. It's like the cartoon when their head becomes a fish tank and they're just like dizzy as
100%, I
shit.
know exactly.
That's exactly how
Like
I feel.
when you swallowed dip as a kid.
Yes.
That same feeling.
I mean, again, I'm getting
watch
kind
my
of
dad
nauseous
do
right
that
now.
at ShopRite.
I really have.
I did it on a
my
date in high school.
constitution's getting weaker. I already have a weak one, but like I'm getting nauseous hearing you describe it.
No kidding.
Yeah, nausea is not.
You have a very.
I have a thing with
Your
nausea.
arteries
I have a
swallowing.
thing with nausea, but I get nauseous easily. easily.
You do
I
very
I
much.
get motion sickness in a car even.
Okay,
and so
yeah.
it's something that has plagued me since I'm a child.
Do you know what
and so when you talk about nausea, I get that like sense memory about nausea, and I start to feel nausea.
You know what I find interesting about you in particular? We were in a tour bus once, you and me, and we had a long drive, and someone ate fish in the tour bus, and it didn't bother you. And I was getting nauseous.
Was it fishy?
It was nasty fishy. It was like hot fishy, where I was getting like freaked out, and I was gonna tell you because I didn't want to be the.
So-
can we pull over and throw this out? But there was like a gamey fish funk, like hot garbage water in the summer. Let's make him puke, Mike.
You said
Dude, those are real tears.
the words gamey fish funk. No good.
Oh,
It was a gamey fish funk. Is
It
that what you
was.
said?
It was gross.
Yeah. Just to think of that. I'm telling you, you can make me throw.
And I'm not trying
I
to.
know, but you will. If you talk.
I'm not even.
Dude, I would love
It's
and
not-
hate to see that.
I have to stop thinking about it because I'll throw up. And I didn't have a problem with it. You say I didn't have a
You
problem.
did not have a problem with it
Yeah,
then.
I don't know, bro.
In the moment, it's
don't know.
almost that's where I almost think it's like you thinking about it's worse than you experiencing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I was hating it, and I'm like, how the fuck are you not freaking out right
Yeah.
now?
You guys are not like that with anything?
Oh, I'm bad.
Yeah,
My
smells.
olfactory up here is very. Smells make me sick. Smells make me so sick.
Feeney and I went to Area 15 the first night of Skankfest, and it's like this psychedelic kind of entire art exhibit, but it's immersive, and it's supposed to be very cool.
That sounds amazing.
It was a little try-hardy, to be
Okay,
honest. Like
okay.
all that shit, all that like galactic psychedelic stuff, I can just lay in a field and look at the stars, and it happens. I don't need it to be in my face and all that stuff.
Right.
Like,
Try too hard.
just play techno and blare shit in your face, and it's like, I'm freaking out, man.
Right.
All right, get
No, it's
out
like
now.
let me do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just kind of like
Give me some
nudge.
stuff to look at.
Yeah, it's like,
don't forget
But-
to stop by the gift shop and pick yourself up.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. So somebody threw up during on the
Believe it.
main floor, and I had a stomach ache from the mushrooms as it was. So
It's like Stand By Me after that.
dude, everywhere
When
I was
everyone
going,
starts puking
I was like,
at the
and some employee was overspraying Febreze around it and all over the
nothing
place.
worse. It smells
like
so
Febreze
it was
puke.
the mix
Doesn't
of
mask
everything,
it.
and
Yeah.
I was just suffering for
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I've
Yeah.
Why not
found.
leave?
I have
Why not
found-
leave?
Because I was trying to be a good friend to Feeney, who really wanted to be there.
Do you remember in grammar school when someone threw
I know,
up?
I'm so self-pleasing, or I'm so like a people-pleasing ass. Even while I'm crashing my ego, I'm like, whatever, I'll do whatever for my friends.
Wow. Okay. did you clue him into how bad it was?
Oh,
for
yeah,
you?
he knew.
So why didn't he do the for
He's
you?
a sociopath. He's a pure sociopath.
Straight vom, I'm out. Remember when he
Elementary
puked in grammar school and they came out and put fucking wood chips on it?
Sawdust.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then they
yeah.
just let it sit until it soaked, and then they sweeped it up, but it smelled the whole time.
It's awful.
like the bile inside, and then you're supposed to like.
The mile. It was
just
the
getting
mile.
hotter.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant the mile run.
No.
Dude, my class would stink.
No, but and then you're supposed to still retain information that she's talking about.
Yeah.
Because people shit, pissed, and throw up in high school. I mean, in grammar school more often than
Constantly.
Oh,
not.
have you ever
Yeah.
thrown up on a student, like on a friend?
I have.
I did too. Michael Dello. I apologize, bro. Fourth grade, this poor
Bezala
kid.
Kund. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Really?
Dude, fourth grade, I was like, I don't feel so. Yeah, and I just
And a little
vomited
kid-
all over his
Yeah.
shoulder
Yeah.
and back.
And
Let me
that's
ask you
like
a question.
exorcism
Let me ask you a
vomits
question.
too. Like little kids are like,
I'll never forget this because I've never seen the look in the eyes of someone that was so horrified in my life. Did he look at you? Did you see his face when you did it?
Yeah.
Because I got a look of like, it was almost like horror and disgust that you see in a movie.
Yes.
Like so disgusted and so horrified in the eyes. He was like, literally. And I've never seen someone do that for real.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it again. And it's tattooed. I felt so bad. He was wearing a white on white sweatsuit.
Yeah.
oh, he was so excited to wear that.
And let me paint the picture for you. And I think I might have told the story already, so I apologize. But apropos, we were freshmen in high school, and we went on our first ever school trip, and it was a ski trip up to like Hunter Mountain or whatever the hell it was, Bear Mountain.
Yeah.
And it was we had to be there at the school at 5 a.m. to depart. I went to an old Catholic boys' school, but we did it in tandem with another girls' school. And it was open to all the students. So we're freshmen. School year starts in September. This is December. So we're 3 months into a school year, okay? I don't really know nobody yet. It's filled with mostly seniors. I forget what year it was. It might have been 1990, 91. It was the year the Giants went like 10-0, 11-0, 12-0, whatever that is.
Okay.
90?
I think
it's
so.
when they won.
Yeah. Their first Super Bowl.
And I don't like getting up that early. I didn't eat, and I get car sick, you know? Yeah. So we're on this thing. It's intimidating as hell. Me and Baze, he's at the window. We're toward the front. I would say I win the first 4 rows. And everybody's up and walking around. There's older girls and there's big guys already, like that have been like, you know, men. They've been men already for a little longer time.
Totally.
And you know, you don't even want them to like you don't even want to cause any. You don't want them to even turn. Not that they were being mean, but like I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like I don't want them to be like, hey, look at everybody.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't.
You just want to
want
be invisible.
Never did I think that the worst possible thing for that would happen to me on this trip. And I was getting really, really nauseous, okay?
Yeah.
There was a bathroom in the back, okay? But every single... All right, so I'm getting nauseous, and I don't know what to do, and I feel like I might get sick. And you know when the launch sequence has been already activated? And now what you're doing is everything in your power to suppress the fact that your body is like, soon you're going to throw up.
You get a little back of the mouth moisture.
Something.
Little pre-cum.
I had that.
Yeah.
Right? So there was a kid behind me. His name was Nino. And I remember he had a bandana in his hair, and he was cool. And he was new, but apparently he knew other people. Anyway, he says, "You're nauseous." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Dude, I have a bagel with cream cheese. Maybe you need to eat something." And he gives me half of his bagel or his bagel. And I take it, and I thought it was going to help. And I bit into it. And something about the cream cheese, which I love, by the way. Nothing against cream cheese. But something about it just activated it even more. And now it was happening in double time, and I had to have twice as much willpower. And I looked to my friend and I go, "I'm going to be sick. I don't know what to do. This is happening. I'm going to be sick." He's like, "Get to the bathroom." So I get up, but every single girl and senior guy was standing, talking, flirting. And you're talking a bus that holds 60, 70 kids. And there's 30 people in the bus aisle.
Yeah, that's a mile walk.
I'm, you know, freshman, and I'm like, "Excuse me?" And I don't even want to talk loud. "Excuse me?" But the whole time, I'm getting more nauseous. "Excuse me, excuse me." And then all of a sudden, I get like 30% of the way. And I look and I go, "I'm not getting there." And I know I'm throwing up. What do? I don't want to throw up in the middle of them.
Yeah.
So I start to run back to my seat. Maybe I could crouch.
Which is home base at this point.
That's the only place I know. It's the least worst place to throw up, although it's no prize. I saw, excuse me. And now I can't even talk. Now I'm like, can I hold it in my mouth and get it into some type of receptacle? I think maybe there was a brown paper bag that he gave me with the the thing.
Yeah.
So I get to my seat.
That's like giving you a basketball net to throw into.
Right.
That's not holding anything.
That wasn't manufactured for these purposes. You know
Not at all.
Anyway,
With
it
that
doesn't
velocity.
matter. It doesn't matter. I never made it to the bag. So I turned into my seat and I went. And I went to throw up standing. And I covered my mouth and it shot out in every direction because I put up basically like a screen in front of my mouth.
Like you put your thumb on the
It
hose?
shot out mostly forward, but in 5 different streams. And every one of them went directly at him and on him. He was in a white sweatsuit. He recoiled in horror and he went... And I just watched as it came out in 3 waves. He was covered in puke from head to toe. Not a lot of people saw it. Again, people are up talking. Their backs are to us. We're in the front, right? And so he goes, "Oh!" And then I didn't know what to say. And I sat down and I go, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I forget what's happening there. It's like, it's the wake of it, right? And we're in the wake of it. Sure. I'm sure he's like, oh. And I was just like, I'm sorry. And he doesn't know what to do. And so then they smell the puke. So someone on the bus goes, "Yo, somebody threw up." right? And then everyone's turning around like, who threw up? Who threw up? And I'm like, oh my God. And someone turns around and sees it on Baze, they call him Baze, and they go, yo, it was this kid. And then they blame Baze that he threw up on himself.
Oh my
And then I don't even think like he said anything because we were so timid and we were so like shocked. And I just think that everyone on the bus then thought that he threw up on himself. And then he was so embarrassed, he didn't go back there to get it off. And so we drove to like Bear Mountain. This was like early. This was like in the first 20% of the drive.
Oh no!
And then it was like 2.5 hours of not only him sitting in my puke, but me sitting next to him.
Smelling it.
And then everyone thinking it was him.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, dude.
That's awesome.
So I have thrown up on somebody.
Oh my
the kid
God.
I puked on just looks sad. Like it looked like it confirmed everything he's ever
I
thought
got
about
pissed on.
himself.
You ever get pissed on by not your choice?
Oh no.
Yeah, I got pissed on. Yeah.
What
That was
age?
another big to do.
Like Stifler off the roof or something? Like somebody accidentally
I got
pissed.
Wait, like.
all right, I can talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm past it now. It stayed with me for quite some time. So I was in my young 20s and I went to Atlantic City for just the night. We used to go and drive back, believe it or not.
That's wild.
And we used to go to the club, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this was in like the early 2000s. There was a small window of time where I dabbled with ecstasy. Okay.
Fantastic
So we
time
go
to
to this
dabble
club.
with
It's called
ecstasy.
Deja Vu. It's in Atlantic City. It's open. It's known to be open to like, it might even been the after party. So I forget, but
Like
it's
open at 4 and stayed open.
something like that. I don't know what it was. No, we went somewhere after that. It wasn't there, but it stayed. So we're there, and I'm with like probably like 10 friends. And do you want to just keep? You have somewhere to go? No,
I have nowhere to go.
Are you going to stay for the next
Yeah,
one
yeah.
anyway? Well, you can stay. You want to just
I'm
like
driving home after this.
You want to
so
just double it up?
I'm down.
Okay, so we're in the middle of this because this is because we're a little bit in, but we'll cut this episode into 2.
Sweet.
So we're on 2 weeks. So why don't you guys give plugs in this one?
Okay.
And then I'll continue this story at the top of the next episode.
Beautiful.
What do you think?
A piss cliffhanger. I love it.
Yeah,
I
this
love
is going to
that.
be this is going to be a golden shower cliffhanger. Would you have before you had a golden what?
A golden teacher.
This okay. So this
The
This
golden
was your
episode.
golden teacher. You want me to give
Yeah, please,
plugs?
babe. Do
All
it, everything.
Sweet. October 20th, I'm going to be in Los Angeles at the Hollywood Improv Lab. So that seats about 11. Please come out. October 21st, I'm in Burbank, California at Flappers. Come out to that. Then Levittown in November, DC in December at MikeCannonComedy.com. And I have Chris's plugs also for.
Yes, of course.
He said Chris also wanted to let you know he will be having a full loaded Cocktober of dates. California, Nebraska, Missouri, Indiana, and North Carolina are all getting stuffed with his stand-up. Check it all out at ChrisDComedy.com.
Did he write that?
He wrote this. I read directly from the copy.
All right, baby.
My special, Don't Let Me Down, is out on 800-Pound Gorilla, 800pgm.com. Pay what you want. It'll be free November 9th on YouTube.
Nice.
So YouTube at Mike Finoia, MikeFinoia. October 19, 2021, I'll be at DC Improv. And all my other dates at MikeFinoia.com. Thank you.
Hilarious comedian. Just want to co-sign. I saw what the special looked like also because Candy directed it.
Yes.
And man, I can't wait to watch it. You're fucking awesome.
I love you. You're hilarious.
That's
too.
so. And I will just say, for good measure, the first time I ever saw you is the first time I ever saw Chris live.
Oh, no
About
kidding.
10 years ago, it's the first time he headlined Caroline's.
Yeah. Was that with Carly?
10 plus years ago. She was not there.
Okay.
But I think he was with her, right? Or no, actually, they had just broken up.
Okay.
Because he talked about it on stage.
Gotcha,
How he went to Atlantic City, cried and drank Pinot in
I
the
remember
stalls.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
And our show went up in flames.
And you featured for him, and I remember being like, "Holy fuck!" I swear to
appreciate
God,
that.
no reason for me to say it. You were so funny.
Thank you, dude.
And it
Wow.
was that's 10 years ago featuring.
Yeah.
And I just was like, wow, like
I
you were
appreciate
so
that,
funny.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah, of
much. I
course.
mean, it's so mutual. It's not even funny.
Thank you, babe. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. I might as well throw a couple dates in on this instead of it. It's October 25th. This is coming out. So if you're in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Soaring Eagle Casino for 2 shows on the 27th. That's with the guys. It's our first group thing in about 4 or 5 months.
Nice.
We're not going back on the road together until what I believe is January. For me, my remaining dates here are all in November. November 9th, Peoria. November 10th, Rockford. November 11th, Cedar Rapids. Rapids, 12th Springfield, Illinois. And then we got the 16th is Duluth, Minnesota. The 17th is Appleton. The 18th is Rochester, Minnesota. And the 19th is Davenport, Iowa. And then the 29th is the Elkhart, Indiana. Have you heard of that?
No.
The Lerner Theater in Elkhart. And that's it. And up until the special taping, which is at the Vic Theater in Chicago. 4 shows on December 1st and 2nd. As of right now, there's some December 1st tickets left. And if you didn't know, if you have a ticket to any one of those 4 shows, it doesn't matter where you're sitting. I'm choosing one person from the 4 shows to fly to New York. I'm going to put it up in a hotel and bring you on the set of Impractical Jokers. Just a thank you to you guys for selling it out so fast for me. So SalVulcanoComedy.com. Appreciate you guys.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Don't be a fake, don't be a flake, don't run away from your feelings, babe.